Hi, Shane Sarson. It's time for Thursday Thoughts. Today we're going to talk about the drummers of Gino Vannelli, and I'm basically talking about early on up till the Nightwalker album. I'm not talking about after that. I know he's had some great drummers since then, Enzo Tedesco, and I can't think of the name, who's played with him the last several years. I think he's out of Portland. But anyway, I'm going back to, I became a huge Gino Vannelli fan. Oddly enough, a lot of it was through Drum and Bugle Corps because the Blue Devils doing some of his stuff. I think it was a North Star. Drum and Bugle Corps did Jack Miraculous. The Blue Devils, of course, did the Poplar in Paradise thing. But so many of his tunes that you hear on the radio are kind of these lush pop ballads, and they're great tunes. But if you were to buy a Gino Vannelli recording or an album back then, most of the album was filled up with tremendous cool tunes that had odd times and different parts of the tune where it shift into a jazz thing or some kind of cool orchestration and everything. Definitely not geared toward radio. So I mean, a lot of people, when you say Gino Vannelli, they just think of, you know, I just want to stop and tell how I feel about you, babe, or something like that. Or they don't think of the other cool tunes, maybe Powerful People or People You Gotta Move or something like that. But he just had so many cool tunes along the way. And so early on, there was a tune or an album called Storm at Sunup, and that particular album had a tune on there called Where Am I Going? Just some tremendous drumming and stuff on there. Any of the drummers, Graham Lear. And I think Graham played on, he played on Powerful People, and he played on Storm at Sunup, and I believe also The Gist of Gemini, all of which had some tremendously cool tunes and stuff on it. So anyway, I was just so taken by some of that stuff. I tried to steal some ideas and some fills from it and stuff like that. Also just the mix of the drums was always really good. And then the next album was an album called Poplar in Paradise, and the drummer on there is Scheuerell. And again, just amazing drumming. And that particular album has, well, at the time, the album, one whole side of it was a Poplar in Paradise, and it was in different movements. And I believe it was the third movement that was a lot of the keyboards and some great drumming and stuff. And the Blue Devils actually did that as a drum break on one of their drum features. Then the other side has some great tunes on it and stuff. And I'm drawing a blank right now, and I just had that tune on the tip of my tongue. There's one called Love Me Now, I think, and then I can't think of the other one. But anyway, some great drumming. Again, cool sounds, and I don't know if it's orchestrated by Gino. A lot of times, I'm assuming it was Joe Vannelli that would do a with the keyboards, and the drums would follow the fills and stuff like that. Anyway, great drumming. Scheuerell definitely became one of my favorites at that moment, and I just saw a post he did of some great drumming on Facebook yesterday, I believe it was. So, and then the album after that, I believe, was Brother to Brother. Another tremendous album, and some drumming by Mark Craney, who, rest in peace, is no longer with us. There's a great live clip of Mark Craney playing Brother to Brother, which is just an awesome tune. It's a great album, some pretty aggressive drumming, and Mark also played with Jethro Tull at one point, and there's a great live video of him playing Aqualung if you want to check that out. And so those three drummers in particular, Graham Lear, Scheuerell, and Mark Craney, were a huge part and a huge influence on me growing up. I tried to steal a lot of licks, a lot of ideas and stuff from it, but I would just listen to it because it was just so cool to do it. And then Gino released an album in 1978 that was Vinnie Colaiuta. I think it was 1978. And the album's called Nightwalker. And again, I mean, obviously we all know Vinnie turned out to be one of the top drummers in the world and one of the top studio drummers, and played with Sting and Jeff Beck and you name it, he's done it. Zappa, of course. But there's some subtle, Santa Rosa is a tune that's really cool in there. I Walk the Night. And there's a lot of those really cool little bursts of drumming by Vinnie, where he kind of takes a left turn for a second, then kind of pulls it back in and everything. So, and again, there's been great drummers since then. Obviously, with YouTube, you can go back and catch a lot of this. I don't know how many live clips you'll find of Casey Scheuerell out there, or you probably won't find any with Vinnie playing live, but you'll definitely see some modern stuff with great drummers from Gino. And again, if you go back and look, there's definitely some stuff with Mark Craney on there. But anyway, when I say, you know, the drumming influences that I talk about all the time, back in 2012 on Facebook, I did a daily posting. So 365 drummers. And I might change some of that today because there's been so many come along that have really captured my attention and my imagination and everything. But all of these drummers were definitely listed on it back then. And so I'm not trying to slight any of them by grouping them, but when I say the drummers of Gino Vannelli being a huge influence, the ones that I'm mainly talking about are Graham Lear, Casey Scheuerell, Mark Craney, and Vinnie Colaiuta. And again, I know David Garibaldi came in there at one point and played a couple of tracks, I think, on I think it was the Black Cars album. And Mark Craney, I think, did a lot on that one too. So anyway, great drumming, great drummers. And again, no disrespect by grouping them together, but that was the initial group or person that created the identity for me to latch onto those drummers. So do yourself a favor and go back and listen to some old Gino Vannelli. I think the first album's called Crazy Life. It seemed like the Mama Coco might have been on there. I believe it's Crazy Life, Powerful People, which he had a hit on called People Gotta Move. And then I believe it's Storm at Sunup. Amazing album, amazing playing by Graham Lear. And then I think it's The Gist of Gemini, and they came out like every year. I think Gist of Gemini was like 76. And that's Graham Lear. 77, I believe, was Popular in Paradise. That's Casey Scheuerell. 78, I might be off by 1 year on these. Brother to Brother, and then Nightwalker. Brother to Brother, Mark Craney, Nightwalker with Vinnie Colaiuta. And that might have been 78, 79, somewhere in there. And again, there's other great albums after that. There's other great drumming and stuff. But those four, Graham Lear, amazing. Casey Scheuerell, amazing. Mark Craney, amazing, rest in peace. And Vinnie Colaiuta, what can I say? So when I say the drummers of Gino Vannelli, that era for me, unbeatable music, unbeatable drumming, and still try to follow these drummers today and stuff that they're doing via Facebook or whatever. So check them out. Thanks.